This is the Grow My Clinic podcast by Clinic Mastery, where we help you deliver amazing client experiences to grow your clinic.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Grow My Clinic podcast. My name is Jack O'Brien. I've got Ben Lynch with me today. How are you, Ben?
I'm doing super well, Jack. I've had 3 coffees and I am ready to rock and roll.
Love it. 3. Is that all?
Yes. Well, Jack, it's halfway through the day, so there's plenty more of coffee to come.
Plenty of time for coffee. Today we want to talk about our recent live event. At the time of this recording, we have just completed our Sydney live event, the Grow My Clinic workshop. We host these a number of times throughout the year. You can find all the information on our website at clinicmastery.com/events. But Ben, I just wanted to have a bit of a wrap-up, bit of a debrief, if you will, and give the listeners a bit of an insight into what some of the highlights of the weekend were, what they can expect at a live event, some of the biggest takeaways. So go for it, mate. What did you think?
Well, something that we're doing differently this year, 2018, in regards to our events, Jack, is we've got a core focus for each of the events. Previously, we had run pretty much the same event, which, I mean, it speaks to the mastery element of getting the basics right. But the feedback that came to us was, hey, we'd like to try out a few different things and hear from a few different experts. So the way that it's panned out 2018 is our first event just the other week in Sydney was all about marketing, attracting more of your ideal clients. The Brisbane event in a few weeks' time will be about client experiences. And then we head to Melbourne twice in the back end of the year, the first one being about people, systems, and culture. And the last one of the year will be about tech and innovation. But this first one about marketing, we were fortunate enough to bring along a few different experts who could share some of their insights. One of those was Michael Griffiths, who basically kicked off the event. I don't know about you, Jack, but I was writing notes like a madman.
It was wild. Michael is known as the referral marketing guru, and it really was fantastic practical advice. We got to see his iPad live on the screen. He drew all sorts of diagrams and pictures and colours and some practical steps that I know everyone will be able to implement and put in place. It's interesting. We talk about the value of different lead sources as we spoke about marketing all through the whole weekend, and often those leads into our clinic, those potential clients who have come from a referral, whether that's from a GP, a doctor or a medical specialist, a potential client referral, or through your network, your referral partners. Those who come via referral are often the highest value of clients, not necessarily in a monetary sense, but in terms of quality of clients. So I really enjoyed Michael speaking about his referral stuff. I know since then I've already become part of what's referred to as a super group. And so for those who are in our business, academy, they can jump back in, watch the recording, and catch up on what is Michael's super group and all the other network marketing. Well, not network marketing, but referral marketing strategies. Yes. So, what other guests? We had a couple other notable guests, Ben.
Yeah, we did. We had Marine from PhysiTrack, who spoke to us about multi-sensory marketing. This was, I believe, an incredibly rich presentation. He was only up there for about 45 minutes. But Marine has a background working for Louis Vuitton, working for New Balance, Accor Hotels, and Nike as well. And he shared some of his experiences working for those global companies and how they go about creating impressions and really delivering their brand into the physical world and experience of a client, and how that plays out in a marketing frame, if you will. He spoke about literally the 5 senses that we all have, and how you could take your branding, what you might have on, say, your website in a visual element, and convey that in a visual element in your clinic. For instance, living, breathing walls of plants, for instance, if you have a bit of a green element or a fresh element. He also spoke about how Louis Vuitton and some of these hotels would infuse the air conditioner with a particular scent or perfume that was intended to create a feeling for the clients or the customers that were there. So actually, Jackie used that one of the medical clinic that was using a calming scent. I believe it was lavender, but don't test me on that one. It was lavender that they were using because that created a sense of calm. And the great thing about Marian's talk was how practical he made it for just the small clinic out there who could get a essential oil diffuser for $200, if you will, that could be in the welcome room, in the reception. Yeah. As an example. But he looked at all of the 5 senses and how you could take your brand and deliver that in the practical physical world.
It's such an important distinction. I think even after that event, and it might just be because it's familiar and we've heard about it, but after that event, I did a little bit of traveling and I was in a Holiday Inn, of all places, overseas, and I noticed the scent. I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was definitely a change in the atmosphere from being out on the street to walking into the lobby, and then the lobby scent was different to the scent in the room. And it's fascinating. I came home and my wife uses diffusers and all sorts of wax burners, and the scent really does play a big role. And as soon as even Marian mentioned lemongrass is the scent for day spas and beauty therapy, and how if that's the type of clinic that you want to create, that might be relevant. But if you want to distance yourself from that type of branding as well. So, fascinating. And I think it speaks to the whole client experience, some things that we often skip over. Scent is one of those things that you grow accustomed to, so you might not even realize that your clinic has a scent. I would put the challenge out to those who are listening on this podcast. Next time you step into your clinic, observe the scent. Observe the feels. What is the texture of your chairs, and what is the texture of your towels and sheets? And, these things we tend to miss, but they're such critical non-verbal components of the client experience. So there was a couple of other talks, Ben. There was a couple of other noted guests. I feel like you're missing one of the big noted guests from the weekend.
Oh, of course, the big man himself, Jack O'Brien.
Oh, I thought you'd forgotten. I'm glad.
Jack, leave the best till last. Come on,
of course.
You know that.
I knew that was part of the plan, of course.
Oh, dear. Well, Jack, you held the stage for pretty much the majority of the event, and I must say, there is real credit to be given to the way that you're able to simplify some very complex, technical, nuts and bolts marketing stuff. We went through and we did Google Analytics and how you can actually read your Google Analytics from behind the scenes and make educated decisions about the content that you might start to publish for your broader community. What's being searched into Google that your clients might then find, and then see you as the trusted, logical advisor for them to go to. That was awesome. We love that. It is grunt work to do this stuff, but if you understand it, all power to you. The other one was Google AdWords, which is an incredible platform, and the metrics, the data you can get is sensational, but how do you actually plug and play Google AdWords into a campaign and then produce a result, which is bookings ultimately? So you're able to walk us through that, which was really good. It's really technical stuff. I think after the first day, most people deserve that drink at happy hour. They were pretty brain fried because of all the technical stuff, but it was great. They got to do it while they were there. Like, nothing better than having your laptop open, being able to plug in some metrics and some variables and produce a result, which we can speak about, but some people getting bookings already over the course of that weekend. Then we obviously went on to Facebook advertising, which is certainly a huge topical area at the moment. And you're able to show us how you can really target, if you know your ideal client or the demographic that you love to see and serve, how you can literally plug that into Facebook, all those variables, and create a campaign that goes directly to them so that you're only speaking to them. The power is insane. So, Jack, I enjoyed watching it. It was very, very technical stuff, but practical. So
Yeah.
that was awesome.
And that was the point. We wanted to make sure there was some practical takeaways. For those listening who might not have been at the event, I think it's important to note that with all of these strategies, there's many different ways, but what is important is getting results. And there's a number of different ways to get there. So for me, I have a physiotherapy and massage therapy practice across 5 locations. We've been able to more than 4x our growth in the last 2 to 3 years, and most of that has been off the back of digital marketing, whether through Facebook or Google or content. And although we went through the tactics of that, it's the philosophy behind the methodology that was really important on the weekend, that when the lights come on and a clinic owner gets it, they can then plug and play the strategies that have worked for the likes of us here at Clinic Mastery. That was a whole lot of fun. But Ben, I think to wrap up the live event, really for me, it was hammered home in the community that was built. It really... at the end of the first day, on the Saturday evening, we had a dinner for all those who were attending, and it was such a powerful moment of community. There's nothing quite like getting in a room of like-minded, similar values, clinic owners, banging heads, having fun, letting your hair down, and sharing some of the struggles. I know for those who are listening, it's often a lonely road. It's often a tough road. As clinic owners, we're very empathetic and we care about people so much, and we often get left out on the fringes, caring for our clients, nurturing our team, and we don't often get a chance to care for ourselves or input into ourselves. And so the Grow My Clinic workshop, although is very practical and tangible, results-driven, outcome-driven, it's also a time to breathe and share some stories, some war stories, some battle scars with other clinic owners, and also encourage others. You know, there's so much to learn from a collaborative community. So there is something magical about what's happening in and around these Grow My Clinic workshops, and I'm super excited for the next ones. Ben, you spoke to client experiences, people and systems, technology, and the changing environment of healthcare. There's so much good to be had. We recapped. Daniel Gibbs spoke very eloquently on some of the fundamentals of growing your business and developing plans, and the mastermind sessions with Shane Davis literally changed the course of some people's clinics for the better. There is nothing quite like a Clinic Mastery Grow My Clinic workshop. So, Ben, if people are interested, where can they find out about the potential next workshop coming up?
Best thing to do is head along to our website, and there's an events tab. Otherwise, you can type it in clinicmastery.com/events, and you'll be able to see that all the early bird tickets are available for all of the events in advance. So if it's of interest, come along. The tickets are at a very reasonable price, and the return on investment will be tenfold, no doubt. So we'd love to see you then, and hopefully we can contribute in your business journey.
Great. I've really enjoyed wrapping up that event, and it's got me excited for the next one at the time of this recording in May in Brisbane 2018. Ben, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Jack.
Check out all the show notes and any links at clinicmastery.com/podcast. We look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
This is the Grow My Clinic podcast by Clinic Mastery, where we help you deliver amazing client experiences to grow your clinic.